The everyday use of conversational French in its most natural context is at the heart of learning a new language. Students discover the language by engaging with their natural world through conversation to help them form meaning in an authentic way. Listening and speaking in French helps students to understand letter-sound relationships and words that they can apply to make sense of their reading and writing. Students learn to listen, speak, and understand French as it happens in meaningful conversation time. Time is dedicated every day to prioritizing student voice to share about topics important to them in a respectful and kind learning environment. The teacher models listening by providing them with their undivided attention and helps guide students by gesturing and having students repeat new vocabulary. As students develop their proficiency, they require less prompting from the teacher and can begin to independently use some of the words they have learned comfortably. Examples of this include sharing about what students did over the weekend, likes and dislikes, events that happened, interests, or simply by just asking questions. These tasks often carry over into their writing time. Students often praise other students for speaking that helps to build a positive classroom environment. At home, encouraging your child to speak in French can help to build their comfort with the language. Allow them to teach you new words to help build their confidence. Keep the conversation going at home by asking what they learned in French throughout their day. French occurs at school in fun and rich, authentic learning tasks. Students participate in games, songs, chants, movement activities, drama, and art to develop their language proficiency. This creates high-interest learning and is very motivating for our primary students to pick up vocabulary quickly. Games are used to bring a competitive edge, often playing against a teacher. Art brings to life connections made to the language exploration. There are multiple learning resources we access at school, including Mini TFO on YouTube, how to draw activities in French, and French songs that are perfect for the primary grades. Mini TFO and other great songs can be accessed at home and played.
Reading and writing in primary French. Reading in primary begins with the review of letter sounds and a deeper concentration on vowels. From there, the focus shifts to blending two letters together to make nonsense words. These are 2 or 3 letter combinations that do not form words or make sense, but focus on the skill of blending. There are many high-frequency words in French that do not follow the sound rules, and these are sight words that must be memorized instead. Much like in English, students learn to read these by memory or by heart. Students also begin to learn the sounds of digraphs, 2 letters put together to make one sound. For example, teachers will teach the oo sound, which is the letter O and U, together, making a brand new sound than what those 2 letters would normally make on their own. Reading strategies in French are for the most part the same in English. Teachers in primary start with Stretchy Snake, and we introduce more strategies as we learn more sounds, blends, and words. Even referring to the strategies in English as your child is reading in French reinforces the skill. Saying, "Can you Stretchy Snake this word?" in English while reading French text encourages the use of the strategy while they are reading in French. The best thing you can do for your child in terms of reading at home is encourage them to read to you. You can even ask them to read to the family pet, their stuffies, or themselves in the mirror. Ask them to read their readers coming home, allow opportunities to hop onto Je Lis, or simply ask them if they recognize and can read any French print on items around the home, such as cereal or juice boxes. Writing. Writing in primary begins with looking at and breaking down sentence structures. Students work at sentence puzzles and are able to visualize sentences before they write them. Then students begin to write, primarily following a model. Teachers present students with common sentence starters like je vois, I see. Using resources from the classroom like word lists, picture dictionaries, anchor charts, and other vocab resources the teacher has presented to the student, they can then finish their sentences independently. As they move through the primary grades, teachers will encourage the use of colors and numbers to make sentences longer and stronger and linking words to extend thinking. Writing is done for a variety of purposes, including cards, letters, invitations, and recipes. Simply pointing this out at home is hugely supportive to French learning. Look for writing on instructions, items around the house, and even subtitles on TV shows.
Reading and writing in the junior grades continues with the strategies learned throughout the kinder and primary grades. The skills learned are fine-tuned during these years as they begin to read and write more complex pieces. The memorizing of verbs and learning their conjugation formulas also helps to support their advancement and their capabilities in communicating and comprehending in the French language. In grades 5 and 6, we really try to hone their language skills through art. Students listen to explicit instructions given in French, and their comprehension strategies are shown through their artwork. As earlier discussed, many resources are available online to support in learning verbs and other useful language skills. Verb songs are helpful to memorize verb tenses and helps our students to feel confident when writing in French. We teach them life skills such as learning how to order off a French menu. Many menus at restaurants, even locally, will be bilingual. We are lucky to live so close to many French or bilingual towns and cities. Challenge your child to read signs and ask simple things in French within these communities. And guess what? Franglais is okay. We encourage our students at school to express themselves with what they know, even if they are using some English words to help communicate meaning. Supporting your child in French language learning looks exactly how you would support your child in any learning endeavor. Sit with them, listen to them, praise them. They are looking to their people at home to be excited about their learning, no matter what it is they are learning.
Nous avons, vous avez, il et elle, ONT. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. Nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est. Nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est.
As students transition from grade 3 to grade 4, conversational French continues through a variety of authentic learning opportunities. In the junior grades, we build upon the letter and sound relationships that are taught and practiced in the primary grades to build confidence and word recognition to use throughout spontaneous speech in the French classroom. Following daily routines helps students develop their oral French skills in a natural context to represent real-world conversations. For example, students may be prompted with a daily question about current events, their interests, or what they did over the weekend. Students are also provided the opportunity to have conversations about the date, the weather, and how they are feeling as a way to express themselves and continuously engage in authentic learning situations. Teachers also use cross-curricular learning opportunities like introducing number talks, analyzing art pieces, or making personal connections with social studies. Listening in French language classroom is modeled by the educator listening attentively, asking questions to build upon ideas, and by asking students to repeat new vocabulary. Teachers create a safe learning environment where students feel comfortable in their conversational and listening skills throughout all of their French language classes. At home, you can encourage your child to speak in French by allowing them to teach you the new words they are using. Use the photos posted to the classroom Facebook pages as a prompt to point out activities, objects, or colors in French, or by using their daily conversational routine about the date or weather on the weekends as well. Listening can be engaged at home by listening to read-alouds on YouTube, listening to books on Jolie, or even listening to your child teach you vocabulary. Many junior students enjoy when their interests are represented in the French classroom. For example, the popular word game Wordle can be played in English with an opportunity for students to share what the word of the day is in French. Students can order at a restaurant in French using familiar question prompts practiced in the classroom. While cooking, students can follow a simple recipe in French or name the necessary ingredients in French with an adult at home. Students can also describe their outfits using colors and articles of clothing. As we become more comfortable learning French ourselves, we can foster the excitement for language learning that students are able to share between their classrooms and their homes.
Here are a few French resources that we have available to families at IPS. First, we have our French reading program called Jolie, where students can listen or read books. This is a great program for students to practice reading strategies, identify story elements, and improve reading comprehension. This program can be used at home where parents can ask colors, animals, letters, sounds. Secondly, we have Lalio. Lalio is an online program targeted at primary grades. Students work on adaptive exercises in phonics, word recognition, and comprehension. It is set up as an interactive world where students can travel through different worlds, collecting badges and unlocking stories. Boom Cards. Boom Cards is an online platform created for students to practice basic skills such as letters and numbers. This is offered both in English and in French. So decks are designed to target the theme of study. For example, there are decks for verbs to target the junior grades, as well as themes such as spring, Black History Month, Christmas, different holidays. These activities provide a fun way to practice vocabulary being taught in the classroom. Thirdly, we have Mr. Steve, who is a teacher and creates interactive videos on holidays, events throughout the year. His videos allow for students to listen to the French language while him providing the visual that matches the word. It's a great way to add in listening and being able to listen to a francophone speaking the language. Netflix, I'm sure most of us have Netflix accounts at home. Did you know that you can change the language on most movies and shows to French, or simply adding French subtitles? Watching French movies can help you learn new expressions, expand your vocabulary, and improve your familiarity and fluency with the French grammar. Reading labels. We have labels on our soup cans. We have labels on our granola bar packages. So as your child is helping you put away groceries or helping you make supper, ask them questions. What color is the container in French? What does the sound T make? It's a great exercise to start asking them and looking around your home for the French language as well. Library books. We're very lucky at IPS to have access to a school library and bring books home. Students have started bringing home an English book and a French book. They can read the book to you in the junior grades, or simply go through the story and have them identify colors, letters, animals. In conclusion, there are a few resources. These are a few resources that IPS students and families have access to both at school and at home. Many of us come from families where French is not the primary language, or there are no parents that speak French in the home. And that is okay. By simply engaging with your child and showing interest in the language will go a long way.